Hi, and welcome to Teach Star. And today we're going to be looking at kind of an abstract kind of a philosophy of less is more. Less is more is so crucial in pretty much all the videos I say, pretty much everything I do. I will always look and see whether what I'm doing is too much, whether what I'm doing either is taking too long, is too much effort for me, it's too much effort for the students, it's just wasted time. See whether there's a quicker response, a quicker way of doing things, and almost always, less is more in every part of teaching. When it comes to behaviour management, I've already had loads of videos on behaviour management where I've said, don't make a big deal about it, don't spend hours on it, don't sort of rile up the situation. Just sit back, and sometimes a nod or a look or placement in the classroom can do wonders to behaviour management. And actually, the less you engage with the students on behaviour, the less kind of like this you do, the better. You're subsiding, or you're making it smaller. You're not making a big deal about it. And whether you do later on, that's up to you, and reevaluate and you think, oh, actually, I need to talk to that student, I'll talk to them at the end or whatever, that's fine. Or I'll go over to them when the students are working, I'll go and give them a quick chat and talk about their behaviour, that's fine. But less is more in everything. Marking, less is definitely more. If you mark in a more efficient way, if you don't plaster their book with red, green or purple, whatever colour pen, if you don't plaster their book in it, but you do less, but do it more often, and are doing it every week or twice a week, but because it's going quicker, like you can do a set of 30 books in half an hour because you're just looking through their work and you're saying a quick comment rather than marking every little detail of it. Less is more there because students value you seeing their books more frequently, more than seeing their books less frequently but more detailed. And in my experience, they always do, because all they want you to do is look at their book and tell them whether they're doing well, or tell them if they're missing an opportunity or they're not quite doing so well. And it gives them motivation to do better next time. And it's a constant progression, rather than this thing where they go 4 weeks having heard nothing from you and suddenly there's all this feedback that they'd have no idea how to process. And sometimes it's like they read the first thing and go, oh, it's rubbish then. And they don't bother reading the other 5 things that you've written or the other 10 things that you've written. So it's really important in marking to do less is more. Not less marking, it's the same level of marking, it's just more frequently and less at a time, just giving them kind of little chunks to think about. In your lessons, I've talked about PowerPoints before, having these PowerPoints with all the information on them. No, just a few sentences or just a picture or just a quick video or something. Less is more. They will process that information and they will remember whatever you put up if it's short enough. They won't remember anything that's plastered with information. Less is more there. Less is more with the resources. When you ask them to do questions and do some work, cutting the work down to maybe just 2 or 3 questions rather than a full worksheet with 1,000 questions is always more, because they're focused on something they can do and they can complete it. And you can have a backup up your sleeve, just oh wow, if you finish the work, then do our extension on the board or whatever. That's fine, because you shouldn't ever have them sitting there completely not doing anything. Or they might go around and help other people if they finish, or whatever your process is. But less is more there. Having less questions but more focused, and the students can really concentrate on them, rather than having loads of questions. I could keep going on. There are so many parts of teaching that less is more. It's just the best way of doing it. And work-life balance as well. When less is more, you're not staying up until 1 o'clock doing PowerPoints. You're doing a 5-minute PowerPoint, a 10-minute PowerPoint of just the basics, just the things you need to have up on the board, because it will take you too long to write them up on the board. And you're not spending, I've had student teachers or teachers spend 3 hours on each PowerPoint. That's each lesson. That's not a day's full of lessons. That's per lesson. 3 hours on their PowerPoint. That is not less is more, and that is not helping them And brutally, when I go and observe their lessons, it's not helping their lessons, because again, they're just plastered with information, and the students, I can't possibly read it or remember it. So the mantra for this video today, and the thing I really want you to take away, is less is more. Almost always. And part of the job and part of the profession is understanding when actually you do need to do more. If you write comments below about other areas that you feel strongly about in teaching, that less is more really helps you, then that would be really good. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to see more from us, please click subscribe. We release videos every single weekday at 5 o'clock in the evening. Thank you.